my head. I'm telling you one thing, you're number one. See, I don't understand how you're number one.
I remember the Berlin Wall going up. I mean, I was quite young. I was about 12, I think, in 1961. It went up overnight, and whichever side you were sleeping on that night, that's where you were stuck for decades. Families were divided, lovers were divided, people couldn't get to work.
If you were on the wrong side, which is broadly deemed to be East Germany, and if you look at the lifestyle they endured, I think it's fair. West Germany took off like a rocket. East Germany was a third world state almost. Yeah, you were on the wrong side of the wall and there was nothing you could do about it.
12 feet high and 87 miles long, this concrete wall, started in 1961, divided East and West Berlin. Erected to stem mass defections from east to west, the Berlin Wall soon became the most poignant emblem of the Cold War.
It was a symbol of the intransigence between the two systems. There was no meeting of minds. There was no way that democracy and communism were ever going to meet round the same table.
As an East German or a West German, it was very, very difficult indeed to go to the other part of the country, which, you know, to our minds these days seems ridiculous, but it was the Iron Curtain. There was a physical wall and that prevented you, and of course armed guards and dogs, watchtowers, you know, the whole 9 yards of a totalitarian state visibly imposing itself on people.
But on November the 9th, 1989, came a moment the world will never forget.
This is the wall the Berliners have had to put up with for so many years. On the west side, it's an obscene barrier. It's almost hard to imagine, but on the other side of the wall are real people, some of whom were always dying to get out.
I remember just walking through the streets of Berlin with my film crew. And there were lots of people singing and standing by the wall playing guitars. It hadn't come down yet, but people were beginning to knock chips off it with hammers, and nobody was stopping them from either side of the wall. And you knew from that moment onwards that things were changing.
People were dancing on top of the Berlin Wall and they weren't being shot. And it was just indescribable, actually. It was this extraordinary mixture of joy and some slight trepidation, because nobody knew quite how the East Germans, and particularly Moscow, would react to this.
There are reports tonight that sections of the wall have been breached. Thousands more East Germans are pouring through checkpoints. The wall that was built overnight is being transformed overnight. And across the city, Berliners are seized with a sense that this is a turning point in German history.
Mauerweg, they chanted, down with the wall, and down it came.
It was just so emotional. You knew that there was no going back from that point. You knew they could never stop that huge tide of human emotion.
26 years later, the emotions may have changed, but there's no denying that the fall of the Berlin Wall ushered in a new era of world history.
Of course, the next one that happened was the big one, the fall of the Soviet Union, which was massive, and that was all begun with the fall of the Berlin Wall. It's the domino effect, and then at the end of the Soviet Union, the end of the Cold War, it was a new world order.
And it was just the most wonderful, wonderful time. I'm so glad I was there.